And once again, thank you very much to our guest today, Mr. Ming Chen, for doing that for us.
I forgot how much I like that song. It came on well, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Ming actually did that for us. So before I even get started, just wanted to welcome everybody. This is a new live stream that me and Theo are gonna try to start doing about once a week, where we're going to kind of draw on our group of friends and bring different guests in each week to kind of talk about comics and films. Bring in artists and writers and actors and musicians and basically try to keep it going with pop culture. So for anybody who doesn't know, and everybody should know, my co-host for this is Mr. Theodus Crane, better known as Theo or Big Tiny. He's an actor in his own rights, done quite a bit of stuff. Most people will know him from The Walking Dead. So, Theo, I've kind of talked a little bit. Go ahead and anything more?
No, I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you guys. And God, this has just been the most fun. I dropped in for your drink and draw, and I will say, like, since then, I've been looking forward to it. I've been like jotting down ideas and stuff, and trying to figure out like the best way to be the most entertaining.
Well, we're gonna try. We're gonna try different things, and we'll see what works. I will try to get we have the 3 Alarm Comics logo thing right now, so we really didn't have much else to do. But I'm going to go ahead and get some people to do up a. Well, actually, me and Theo talked about it. What we want to do, and Ming, you could be part of this as well. We're going to. We've been trying to think of a name for the show. I've thought of everything from the Crane Gang to Ebony and Ivory to all kinds of stuff. But I even thought of one thing which I absolutely loved. I thought it was so original. I thought about doing Pros and Con, but spell it Prose. But it turns out there's like a kids novel already named that. So talk about the pros in industry and then the convention scene. But we're going to hold a little contest over the next few streams, and whoever. If you want to start suggesting names, we'll take them all into account and we'll choose one. And whoever the winner is, we'll get like an autographed picture from Theo, and we'll find some stuff here at the shop to add on as a little prize for it.
Yeah, that'll be the tough part. I know everyone's starting shows now. The toughest part is picking a name that hasn't been picked yet. And
yeah.
Just gotta add some letters here somewhere, or throw an accent on there, set yourself apart somehow, or just throw your name in there and you're good.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're thinking. Sound like the Crane Gang, but Theo wants something else in there. So
I don't know. It feels it feels. I don't know. It's just I got it. It made me tingle in a way that I wasn't accustomed to.
I have that effect on people.
Man.
Well. I kind of wanted to I put it in our little post advertiser for this, but I do want to give thanks to Ming about. They said if it weren't for him, pretty much a lot of this wouldn't even be possible. Never thought about doing it. That's we kind of wanted to bring you on as our first guest. One, because we both know you so well, but two, like I said, you and the Shared Universe podcast studio kind of kickstarted a lot of different streams that have been going on right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We've got all this time. Might as well either. I've read a lot of people like, hey, use this time to learn a new skill or do something useful. I'm like, no, man, use this time to have fun. And then, the useful stuff, you'll learn that along the way. And I think podcasting and then later live streaming all stems from I've always wanted. I come from the school like Howard Stern and all those those DJs. So I always wanted my own radio station, and wasn't really possible up until podcasting came about. And I was like, wait a minute, I can say whatever I want, and I can do it with friends. Like, whoa, this is pretty cool. But yeah, that evolved to like, let's stick a camera in our faces, and maybe we can live stream it and people can watch us talk. To this, it's just getting more and more fun as it goes along. Yeah, now we have interactivity. If anybody's watching right now and wants to throw up a question, we'll give you a shout out or answer your question. Like, just the fact that things like this are possible is pretty cool. Can you imagine a quarantine where like you couldn't see it, you couldn't talk to your friends like this? This is truly keeping me sane right now.
I agree.
I think it would be we would for sure pivot a different direction. Like, I think more people Well, there would be way more bread. First off, like we think we've seen a lot of sourdough loaves now. There would be way more bread. But I do think people would like go back to prison workouts and shit. People like 50% Amish by the time it's over. So yeah, I am really glad we had this thing. And that's another thing. I mean, you just made me think about something. Howard Stern might have been one of the first podcasters.
Yeah, in a way, he was definitely the guy who was like, "Whoa, you can say that?" Like that's awesome. Which is ironic because when podcasting kind of started getting big, he started talking smack about them. He was like, "Oh, podcasting's nothing. No one's gonna listen to podcasts," and he was only saying that because he wasn't getting paid to podcast. He was already getting them money, and he didn't want to lose that audience. And,
then along comes Sirius.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I guess it was justified. He spent years kind of building up the radio DJ, put in all that work, and then all of a sudden, here are these fly-by-night guys who would go and buy a USB microphone and call themselves broadcasters. And I'm sure he took offense to that. But in essence, we're doing like what he was doing, and we didn't have to worry about restrictions.
Yeah, right.
And we can. I think he's just mad that everyone can say whatever they want now, where like for 20 years he wasn't allowed to. Like they had a dump button and he had to worry about the FCC. He was getting fined, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. So I think he was a little jealous that he put in all that work, and now we're kind of reaping the benefits. So I can't blame him for that. But I when he's like, "Oh, podcasting is nothing," I'm like, "Dude, you're wrong. You're dead wrong about that."
See, I actually think more along the lines of, as far as I guess maybe one of the kings of podcasting was probably was Kevin. Kevin's one of the people who actually brought this stuff into the forefront and made a thing. Oh, we got Mr. Victor Gischler pulled in. I guess he's sharing the stream. Victor is actually one of our local comic book writers and novel writers and everything else. So, Victor, if you're listening, we need to get you on one of the streams soon. He'd be somebody I have as a great guest on.
Nice, I'm with it. And thank you, Victor.
And I mean, it's a weird time right now. It's a tough time, but I boil it all down to this: had it not been for a virus or quarantine or all this, would we be talking to each other on May 11th, 2020? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not, unless we were, hitting each other up for money or something. Like I don't know. And so that, I'm very thankful that that whatever weird forces brought us together today have done so. So that's.
Well, I mean, I might be kind of use this platform here just to use when we enter the broadcast room, talk to family and friends, being able to talk at once, not even going live, just being able to talk to each other.
Yeah, you just had something major happen to you, my friend. That big.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm taking a medicine right now. I'm actually allergic to pain medication, so I can't take it. But yeah, we had a big forest fire this past Thursday, and. I ended up getting burned on my hand. I was in our little brush truck putting out spot fires. Well, the main fire was probably about 100 yards behind me, so I didn't think I was in any danger. And but near the back of the truck is also the pump that we start up to be able to shoot the water.
Yeah.
And I was right beside it and putting out spot fires, and all of a sudden I kind of get a little bit dizzy. Like I'm breathing fine. There's no smoke, but I get a little dizzy, like I'm not getting enough oxygen. And then all of a sudden I feel the heat coming in, and it got really hot very quick. Ooh. And by the time I turned around, there was a wall of fire, probably about 50 feet tall, and as far as I could see to the left and right, and about 20 feet away from me. I threw the hose down and then went to go get in the vehicle. Luckily, my deputy chief, who is our safety officer in our area, was able to. He saw it coming. He said he heard what sounded like a tornado. And it traveled 100 yards in probably 3 seconds. And it came right towards me. But he actually drove his car beside me, basically about the same time I got to the door. His car was able to block most of the heat that came out of there. And I couldn't open the door. I couldn't reach in there to open the door, so I had to rip my glove off. The backside of my hand got about 2 seconds exposure to the heat, and I've got first and second degree burns, but I got to be honest with you. If it weren't for my deputy chief, Andy Mason, if you're listening, whatever, Quite honestly, without him doing that, I could definitely say I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now.
Wow.
Man, yeah. Well,
So yeah,
big shout out.
today I had to go in there. Went Friday, and this is gonna sound horrible, but they burst the blisters and scraped the skin off. And then today I ended up getting more blisters on it, so they put me in what I guess the only way I can describe it is a power washer, and basically power washed my hand to get all the dead skin off. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it hurt worse than the actual injury itself, and it's still hurting. So since I can't take pain medicine, I'm taking my liquid pain medicine.
Yeah. So you were not on any, they're not giving you morphine or anything for this. So
Nope, I can't take any of it.
Holy crap. Well, first of all, thank you for being out there in this weird time. I know, it's your job, and you're a true hero for battling fires. For God knows how many years you've done it. In addition to running a comic book shop, I didn't know that they sent you on a brush fires as well. I thought I guess I was under the misconception that you were fighting mainly building fires.
For the most part, that's what we do. But this actually happened out in one of the county areas. Be honest, we had to actually travel from. We were assisting one of the local surrounding jurisdictions. They had about 8 different fire departments out there. We actually had to travel almost 30 minutes just to get there. That's how far away this fire was. And I think, if I remember right, said it burned up a little over 600 acres in less than 3 hours.
Wow.
That's insane. And is there a reason a fire travels that fast? Was it wind aided, or it just?
Yeah, we had a lot of wind that came in, and what a lot of people don't realize, especially when fires get that big, they create their own wind patterns. It ends up sucking a lot of the air towards it. So even the winds that we're blowing, it ends up pulling more air into it just to feed itself.
That's that's insane. So yeah, when I saw your post on there, I was like, holy crap. I know you go out and fight fires. We just don't, I never really think about the risk. Like, you might not make it back that day.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did make it back, because we love you.
That's one of the biggest things I did. Like, when I first started and had my daughter, that's the one thing I'd always do is make sure I gave her a kiss in the morning before I'd tell her goodbye before I left. Even if it was, I go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. But, really, truly, to all the other firefighters and emergency service personnel, everything else, really and truly, you don't know. When you go in that morning, you may not be making it back. Now, this was my first experience with something that close, my first personal experience, but I don't ever want to have to go through it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the recovery process like? What are they telling you?
Basically, right now, it's just keep it. They're taking all the dead skin off to expose the underlying skin. Basically, so apparently now it heals faster. They used to say don't break the blisters.
Right.
Now you're supposed to and get the new skin exposed, so it'll start healing up. And the only medicine that's on here is actually something called Manuka honey.
Yes. Yeah.
We actually took a family trip to New Zealand. We got to see where they make it. That stuff is supposed to be great for everything.
Yeah, apparently it's like a super antibiotics, moisturizer, healing type thing. So I got to admit, I mean, for somebody who's not taking any pain medication, well, except for this, it really is. It's helped a lot. A friend of ours that we all know, Kat Bishop, actually, when she had issues with her legs, she told me that's what they told her to put on there too, and she said it was amazing. So
yeah,
and it smelled good.
And and if you need a snack, you can just lick it off your hand. So
exactly.
Did they make barbecue honey?
I don't know. Well, hopefully, hopefully you're not in too much pain without the medication. I don't know if you're able to sleep. Like, I don't think it's been a while since I've been. I mean, I've never had an injury that major, but I can imagine it's.
I'm fine now. I mean, well, especially after all my third beer now. But it hurts, but it's bearable. Like I said, I can show. Like on my other hand, it's basically from this knuckle, that middle knuckle there, all the way down to just above my wrist, and just the whole back side.
Yeah,
wow.
I see your thumbs exposed, so you can still text, right? So,
well, I can, but I can't close my hand. This hand.
Oh, right. Okay.
Not just because of the bandage, but because of the swelling. I can't close my hand all the way. But good thing I'm ambidextrous, because I can. Wait, that's wrong. Yeah, y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, that was my other question, but I think you learn to adapt. You learn to adapt. And move
so how long do you have?
Well, this just happened last Thursday, so I don't know. Honestly, I was hoping I'd be able to be back at work this week, but no.
Take it.
Yeah,
Take your time, man.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Well, I'm one of those people get bored very easy, so that's what I told Ming as soon as it happened. I said, well, y'all gonna be making a lot off of me because I'm fixing to be really bored for a while. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm one of those people that I like going to work. I like doing stuff.
Sure.
Especially my job, even so, like I said, the firefighting job I looked into, but I couldn't have asked for something better. I really enjoy doing it. I like the people I work with, and after this, it even proved to me the admin and the bosses we have over us do have our best interests in mind. My one of our deputy chiefs, who's one of our big bosses, like I said, quite literally saved my life. So I owe them a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And I never think about you never really talk about the danger that you're in. It's usually it's like, we did a crawfish boil today and we threw in cans of green beans and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And that's usually what I hear from your experiences over at the firehouse. So
I love the specifics that you remember.
Oh yeah, it's all food related for sure.
Oh, yeah. They wanted me to stop by my station tomorrow. I told them I'd stop by because my shift is on duty. But I want to make sure when I go, I'm going to get a big ass margarita and sit there and drink it while I'm talking to them.
Yeah, that's not a bad move.
Yeah, that's more or less how me and Theo met over food about 7 years ago in Miami.
Was it Miami? Yeah, it was Miami.
Yeah, we were at SuperCon in Miami. And
what was the name of that restaurant?
I have to look that up because I was actually there about a year ago. I made it a point to go back there. There was this Scott, there's this seafood restaurant / deck in Miami. It's like an outdoor deck. It's run by this little old woman, and like every hour the staff gets up and starts singing, and they crank the music to like 50, like 87 decibel. Like it's loud, and she goes around taking photos of you, and then you see the digital snapshot on TVs all around. I got to look up the name of that place. It's still there. So I went a year ago. I made a point to go back. It's strong drinks and really good seafood. And we had a big group over there. It was great.
What is the deal with that? I first met Ming over food as well. We went to a place here called Cafe New Orleans. And I met Theo about through a bad convention and alcohol.
Well, I mean, that'll bring people together no matter what. Those two things, food and bad conventions, will definitely bring people together. But I think Ming knows how to live, man.
Yeah, we both live good. We both like to have fun.
Oh yeah.
And where else do you have fun but conventions in weird cities and where you have free reign of a town after the convention's over? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think the convention out here was so bad. Most of their guests came over here to the shop afterwards, and we ended up throwing a big party. We had Theo and my buddy Grant here in a ball pit for a while. They were. I have video. I meant to pull it up here and so we can show it on here. Well, it'll definitely be coming up on future episodes
for sure.
And then we had Theo singing karaoke and making a little girl cry. So it was great.
That was. Oh man! I mean, but it's a valid question. Why do they allow children in breweries?
Well, most breweries are at the time, especially here, they're all ages. You just can't drink at 21. But Theo decided to sing a little South Park, and this one little girl who was the niece of the guy who owns Cricket Letter, and he ended up singing "Chocolate Salty Balls" from South Park, and at the very end of it, he's singing the chorus. This little girl walks out, looks at him, and goes, and just starts bawling her eyes out. Then the video ends.
It was so beautiful that she broke down. So beautiful.
Oh man! Somebody sent me that video. So you messaged me. You messaged me like the morning after somebody sent me that video. You're getting a visitor. Daryl's coming by.
Daryl Ratliff. Daryl Ratliff came by on Saturday, I guess. So thank you, Daryl, for supporting 3 Alarm Comics.
Yes. One of our first days, we were actually officially open during normal hours since the start of this whole thing.
That restaurant we were talking about in Miami is called Sonia's.
Okay, yeah. And Sonya herself is a hoot.
She's quite a host for sure.
Oh my god, that lady is so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, may we be back there soon. So
I hope so. I hope so.
Is she like the Manticore off of the Onward movie that just got released? Or have y'all seen that one yet?
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so let's just say yes. But
oh, well, okay, all right. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Disney Plus. Or not Disney. One of the streaming things. It's really good actually. I kind of enjoy it. It's got oh god, the little kid that plays Spider-Man and the guy that plays Star-Lord are the two lead characters.
Wait, is it the one about the souls who are trying to get to heaven or something?
No, there are a couple of trolls living in a land of basically magic. His kind of technology has taken the place of magic. So all these mystical creatures are now like the fairies are now like a biker gang. They can't fly anymore, but they ride motorcycles. But their goal is to get their dad so they can have one more day with him after he passes by, and they go on this quest to bring their dad back so they can say bye to him or something like that. But it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
All right, sounds like a tearjerker.
Yeah, no, it's more fun than anything though.
What is with that? Like lately, Pixar and Disney movies have been like seriously have emotional depth.
Yeah, they're toying with us, man. They're toying with our emotions, and
man.
I think they figured out this formula of emotions, like emotional pull equals box office draw.
Yeah, I think so.
They'll watch it more than once.
Yeah, like Toy Story, any of the Toy Stories.
Yeah.
Well, Toy Story is kind of deep to begin with. I mean, they even played with it when they did whatever the movie was, where it was all the emotions came to life. It was kind of a same principle as Toy Story was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, brilliant. They got a bunch of my money. So.
Well, Ming, how's things been going up there? You know, both me and Theo are only about an hour away, but you're quite a few hours away. How are things going on up there? And talk to you.
So far, so good. I think we're gonna be locked down for a little while longer, but for guys like me and you, what did it say, the 11th? So in 9 days, they're gonna be shipping new comics again, which is good. You said you've kind of fully reopened, or at least partway reopened already. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. We're going to for a little while. So I think once the new books come in, I think Mike, they're going to start doing a curbside pickup over at the store. I'm urging them to do delivery. Like, I'm not going to go and deliver comics, but I'm like, hey, go. You guys should go around like in a comics mobile and deliver comics to your customers, and then you should document it too. I thought that would be really cool. But
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they want no part of that. The only time they've made a house call with comics is we have one customer who he's kind of an alcoholic, so he can't leave the house all the time.
He can't drive.
Yeah, he shouldn't be driving. He doesn't drive. He usually takes public transportation down, I think. But he's been a loyal customer for a while, so we made a special consideration for him where we drove his comics down to him. But other than that, yeah, I think they want no part of doing any delivery or house calls, which I guess I understand, but I thought it'd be fun. You could do it in costume, or you could set up you come up with a clever name for it, and deliver comics to people. I thought, and I'm like, come on, step it up. But yeah, they're like, you want your comics, you come down here, we'll run them out to your car, and that's about it. So
the Ice Cream Truck has its special theme song that it plays. It goes, what song's the Comic Mobile going to be playing?
Oh man, I would like a Danny Elfman score, from
oh man, yeah.
Yes. Or the Avengers score is pretty great as well. The Avengers Endgame score is pretty awesome. Like when Captain America shows up at that train station in Scotland, when you see him come back, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, if you're rolling down the street blasting Danny Elfman's Batman theme, like in a car with that big speaker, like in the Blues Brothers, like people are gonna notice you.
Oh
people
yeah,
remember you. People are gonna love you.
I think you should do it no matter what. That's just a great idea for a vehicle.
I might have to take that up. I've got a van.
Oh, do you have a speaker?
Or or if you delivered comics in like a pop culture themed vehicle, like if you had a DeLorean from that Back to the Future delivering comics, or either any of the Batmobiles delivering comics, you would get instant press right away.
See, I thought about it one time having a mobile comic shop and actually like buying a trailer, but have it to where you could even pull up to a convention where you think about these special things where it's hinged to the bottom so the side will come down. You can walk up into it and basically have a mobile comic shop that you could travel around with and set up wherever and have fun with.
It's not a bad idea, and no one's tried it yet. So
no, I have to wait till after retire. But that is something that and the other thing I've looked up. I saw there's one place over here close by that bought one, but I thought about it before I even saw it. You know, they have the bicycles where you fit like 8 up to 15 people on them. And
the booze bikes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wait, dude, I looked them up for like a 10-seater. It's only about $8,000. And can you imagine having that driving down like a downtown area that allows you to do this stuff? I looked at our rules around here. We could sell soft drinks and water, but they could bring whatever else they wanted on it.
Right.
Then you partner up with different bars in the area. And you travel for 15 minutes. You go to this bar. Then they give them a drink or an appetizer, or whatever. Then you go to the next bar and just travel around, doing that.
I love it. Now the bike is $8,000. The insurance is like $800,000. I think that's where things start to go downhill when you get lawyers and insurance involved. They're like, oh crap. So
Sherry says to hire her. She's got a Ghostbusters SUV.
That's tempting right there, man.
There you go.
Yeah. And she's got
comic really.
Okay, sold.
And I mentioned this earlier, Theo. Just let you know, Daryl was asking if you're Walking Dead. Yes, I'll let Theo tell you the story on that one.
I was Big Tiny on The Walking Dead. Season 3 in the beginning of prison. Daryl. And Daryl's the one's coming by, right?
Yes.
Oh, nice. So what is how's it been opening back up?
It's been weird. So I hate to say it, I kind of got used to being closed, where we were just mail ordering stuff and stuff like that. I could be here for a small amount of time, get the business done, and go home and take a nap, or be on here and playing around and having fun with Ming. So like I said, honestly, Ming and Mike and the shared universe stuff has kind of actually saved my sanity because it's allowed me to use my time more wisely. Otherwise, I'd be fat as hell or a complete alcoholic. But that the streaming stuff, the platform has just allowed me to do a little bit more of what I enjoy and get in the lives of people and have people who are normally parts of my lives involved with it as well on a more regular basis. So when you're locked up at the house or I'm locked up here at the shop, you can still have some interaction.
Yeah. There are only so many movies and TV shows you can watch by yourself before you start to go nuts. And I think a lot of people are playing video games. Those are somewhat interactive with other people, but it's nothing like this. I'm very grateful for this. So I think you opened 11 to 6 the other day, like a full.
We did. That was our first Saturday. Was our first full day. Sunday was 1 to 5, which is our normal time, and we're still playing it safe. We're only allowing like maybe 5 people in at a time.
Yeah.
And then basically I keep the front door locked, so we'll allow the people in, and then we will go ahead and lock the back door, and basically they do their shopping, they do their thing, but then whenever they leave, we wipe everything down with Lysol and clean up afterwards. So.
Were people coming in?
Yeah, actually, Saturday, yes. We did very well on Saturday. It was nonstop. There one time we had a little bit of a line outside because we were only allowing 5 people in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if somebody left, now Sunday was just dead because, quite honestly, it was a gorgeous day and everybody was allowed out finally. So I'm sure they were out on the beaches and out at the islands and having fun.
That's our friend Kyril. He's tuning in from Moscow, Russia. Theo.
Oh wow.
He's God bless him. He's been tuning into all our live streams. So
yep. Thank you, Kyril.
He loves you. He loves you, Theo, and just says hi to me and Ming.
Well, thank you, Kyril. I appreciate it.
He had sent me a video the other day, and it was a peek into a comic book shop as it is run in Russia, a Moscow-based comic book shop. And
You have
How
to
was
send me
that?
that.
Yeah.
For real. Send that to me. I'm kind of curious myself now.
yeah, it was pretty interesting. Not much different. Actually, it looked like they're pretty well stocked and pretty well funded. Looked like a nice shop. So,
Okay.
if anybody was wondering what fandom was like in Russia,
I've been going back lately, and what we've been playing here is on Amazon Prime playing Comic Book Men, and
Thank you.
well, it's kind of funny because I go back and I was like, one, you look like a baby. Yeah, there was only 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, you look like a baby back then, and then and I remember even thinking then, Mike. Now I've gotten to know Mike better, but I guess the way he had dyed his hair or whatever, it almost looked like he was wearing a piece at the time.
So I think I don't even Theo. I don't even know if you've seen Mike recently. So he's been gray for a while.
I saw a picture.
Yeah, so he'd been dyeing his hair maybe the first 4 or 5 seasons, and he's been dyeing it forever. Until one season, he came in the middle of shooting, and his hair was jet black.
Yeah.
And I remember it was blacker than my hair, and I don't know if he like grabbed the wrong bottle or what the hell he was thinking. But we're all looking at him. The crew is looking at him, and our director, our showrunner, is looking at him. They're like, "Dude, what the hell? What? We're in the middle of shooting. You just changed your hair color." And so there's some episodes that season where his hair changes color 4 times.
Oh, that's
Later on, I met some of the editors, some of the guys who sat in dark rooms and had to edit all this, and they were fed up. They were like, "How are we supposed to edit this? It's all supposed to kind of look like it's all happening around the same time." And his hair changes like 4 different times. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, the next season, our director was like, all right, rule number 1, no hair changes, no hair dyeing. So finally he went back to gray. I think the gray looks great. I don't know cool with it. But I think his major complaint is now people are like, hey, is that George Lucas?
Yeah.
And
when he dyed it, it almost looked like a hairpiece.
Right.
It didn't match anything whatsoever.
No, it didn't. It didn't. And we're just, of course, we're just laughing at it and busting his balls about it. So, and we continue to do so to this day because that's what we do. So
yeah. I will say he's like a healthy cross between George Lucas and Michael McDonald right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he loves the George Lucas comparison. I'm like, dude, George Lucas has $4 billion, man. He built an empire. That guy's awesome.
Oh, you got to mow the lawn, Victor. Yeah. You got to take care of George. There's no going out.
And rest assured, I am going to get Victor on here. As soon as I tell him, Victor, you can drink all the wine you want while you do it, and you get to sit here and have fun. So I'm going to get Victor on here on one of our things coming up.
You should clip your phone to the lawnmower, like the handle, and you can watch at the same time.
There you go.
I might run into a tree or two, but you'll be okay.
We could call him Victor Grassler then.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, if you're really bored and you want to binge watch Comic Book Man, all 96 episodes are on Amazon Prime Video right now, which is awesome. So
that is awesome. Congrats on that too.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Man. For sure.
I think it's funny more than anything. And I said I've never met Brian or Walt before, but from y'all before. I just love the fact that that's the one thing. It is a reality show, so there's some stuff from talking to you. But as far as the personalities go, like I said, basically you on the show is you in real life.
Yeah,
Mike is Mike in real life, and so there's no your personalities. There's no made up type things.
No, I think the only difference, if you meet Walt in person, he doesn't talk that much as he does on the show. He's usually if you see him at the shop, he's usually either drawing something, or or he's bagging and boarding or something. He doesn't really look up, and he doesn't talk too much unless talk about if you bring out comics or hockey, he may engage you in a conversation. But otherwise, he doesn't talk quite as much as he does on the TV show.
I keep saying I want to make a trip up there because there's 2 things I want to do. I said what I want because I said I checked prices and they're dirt cheap round trip to New Jersey, even more so now.
Yeah,
but I do. I want to stop by the secret stash and just kind of look around, hang out, spend a little bit of money. And then I want to go by, well, you have 2 podcast studios.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely record episodes for sure. That's no doubt. And then we'll go and have some fun for sure.
And then I want to go check out Ross Brewing and just sleep in their basement.
You could do that. Yeah, hopefully they'll be open by the time you get up here. But
yeah,
a lot of fun to be had for sure. I miss Biloxi for sure though. I love it down there. And how can you not love Biloxi, and then the fact that it's an hour away from New Orleans? You just
there you go.
And about an hour and a half away from Pensacola.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a happy middle, yeah. Pensacola's got some nice beaches.
Oh, they got some great food and some great bars, and
Daryl is Ming. When are you coming to Pensacon, or coming back more accurately? I think I have an invitation for Mike Ensley to come back next in 2021. Should everything be okay by then? So yeah, I miss the Fish House and McGuire's and Whataburger and all that, all that stuff in Pensacola.
What we may end up doing is I'll talk to Mike too, and we'll get y'all in. Like if you and Mike want to come in a couple days earlier, and then kind of hang out here at the shop, and we'll do a Biloxi official pre-Pensacon party. Get Theo come over, and then we'll just sit around and drink and do a live podcast while we sit around and drink for a while.
Sounds great. I know you have a whole room for that, and I know you have plenty of alcohol to facilitate talking for sure. So, and Cairo, hockey and comics equals Casey Jones. Yes, that's for sure.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah,
1,000%. So,
I'm gonna leave you two on your own for a second. I gotta answer a phone call for Step for this, but I will be right back.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just glad you're standing and alive for sure.
Exactly.
So you were telling me you built a home boxing gym. I know you've been hitting bags for a while. You've been boxing for
years now. I learned to box when I was 14, man.
Okay.
And then when I moved to New Orleans, I got into it more, and I found a coach and I started competing and all that stuff. It's just a great stress relief. Like, it's really hard to be angry about anything when you punch the bag for 30 minutes. You know, so it's a great way to be in shape. There's nothing like a boxer body.
Yeah. Did you take a break from it? I know, like about maybe 5 years ago, I heard you were like really back into it. And
so I always did it, but I did it. So I just increased my intensity. About 5 years ago, I just started going hard. And ironically, I stopped fighting. I got in the best shape of my life and wasn't competing. So, I just been doing that. But I think I want to give it a couple more goes and then hang it up as far as competition goes. Because I've been coaching people for the past couple years now.
Right. I was doing some kickboxing for a while, but it was just kickboxing a bag. I wasn't going against other people who could like knock my head off. And there's a world of difference between hitting a bag and hitting a person, I think. And
there is, but I mean, there is benefit to doing any of it, you know. Because like people like to knock it if you're not sparring or whatever. I'm like, do whatever makes you comfortable. Some people can't afford to get hit in the face.
Right. Right. Most people on screen, unless that's your persona or
exactly.
There's something you said about like Fight Club. It's like, you don't know a man. You don't really know a man until you fight him or unless you see him.
You know what it really is, man? Is getting that crazy out. That part of you that you had to put on the shelf because we don't go out and like kill things for food anymore.
Right.
You know, is getting that out and in a healthy and honestly a productive way. You know, that's really, and if you can do that on a bag and you don't have to hit people, you're probably doing better than most.
I remember there was like a really, really beef second. I was like, I think an MMA gym had opened up. I was like, oh man, could I get in that octagon? Like maybe I'll try it out. Like maybe I could, I could go into a lower weight class and maybe face some competition. And then I watched a fight. And I saw all the blood, and I saw the intensity, and it was between two women too. I can't remember who. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I have that in me to bloody someone's face like that and just like go at it. And I was like, man, so I never pursued it. But
there are levels to it. I will say that. I mean, there is a level where everybody knows I'm coming just to have a little fun. I'm not trying to get bloody. Yeah, there's a little bit more headgear, a little bit more padding.
Right.
But
has that translated into acting? Has it helped you in acting at all?
Yeah, because I also do stunt work, and so just having that ability to move in that way and that control. Because the one thing that I've learned more than anything is how not to hit somebody. Because like when I spar with people, almost everybody I'm sparring with is way lighter than me. So it's like I want everybody to get something out of it. So I'm not going to use any power. I'm just, and that translates directly to stunts because I know how to miss intentionally. And, it also helps not look so bad,
Well, it helped you use a little. I mean, you lost a lot of weight, dude, over the past few years. You actually lost you lost me
I did.
In the past few years.
I did, man. Like when you're talking about like 5 years ago, you know what it was? I had a crazy bout of anxiety, and I couldn't afford therapy at the time. So I was like, I know I can go to the gym.
Yeah.
I know it'll help. And so I just went every day. Every day that I had some kind of anxiety, I went to the gym. And it looks like your beer hands where you're just like, yeah. But in like 6 months, I lost, I think, 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But, afterwards, I know I have that outlet now. It takes some of the stress off. Like, oh, I don't feel so bad. Well, I can just go hit the bag and feel better.
That's
See, I'm just working out 12 ounces at a time, but I'm going for repetition. And I start off with heavy weights, and they get lighter as I go along.
You call them drop sets. But that's the other thing too. I think I'm allergic to beer, which makes me sad. I think I'm allergic to a lot of types of alcohol. And I don't know if you remember, Ming, but I used to like to get to it.
I remember. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We met in Miami. We saw each other about a year later at this horrible convention in New Orleans.
Yep.
Had it not been in New Orleans, it would have been a total disaster of a weekend.
Yeah.
We went out. Theo took us to the cigar bar called Dos Efes.
Yeah. Wasn't it with the American Horror Story people?
Yeah. We're with Naomi Grossman and a whole bunch of cast members from American Horror Story. And Theo bought me the first cigar I ever smoked.
Nice. Yeah.
Which was cool. And it was just a really, really awesome, fun night. We were over the Aaron Rose Bar. Like all my favorite places in New Orleans now were kind of cemented in that weekend. So that's
oh, man.
yeah, and we're eating pizza at 4 a.m. It was a great, Theo made it a great weekend because the con itself, it was a 3-day con. I think 70 people showed up all weekend.
Yeah.
And, it looked like the promoters decided to go ahead with this con just to fulfill some kind of insurance commitment, or maybe they're laundering money. Like, I don't know. There's something going on.
Probably laundering money.
Yeah, they're definitely laundering money. There's something going on here, and we kind of took the brunt of it, where we had to show up and sit there all day, and it was fun. We did 2 panels. I think I have video footage of it somewhere. I'll have to dig that up and post it.
I'm sorry, Claude Ferris. Oh, come on, man. The name of the con was a dead giveaway. Piece of shit, a con.
Yeah, we should have known. We should have known, but we get invited somewhere, we go I think I saw New Orleans, and I was like, yeah, I'll go to New Orleans. I had never been there up until that point, so Theo really showed us a great weekend down there. And,
I'm glad, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, for sure. And then Scott, a year after that, we were at a con together in Michigan. And
so
you got to return the favor.
Somewhat. Well, I mean, we were kind of out of the way. We were nowhere really near Detroit. The con was at this. It was a famous kind of weird flea market in the Michigan area called the Gibraltar Trade Center. This big, huge building, and inside were these weird flea market vendors that were there every weekend. If you can imagine that.
That's not the one Jim Decker's part of, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I hope not because it's not there anymore.
Okay. All right.
So it was. So half the building was the flea market, the trade center. A quarter of it was the con we were at, and the other quarter was a gun show. And
I remember the gun show. Wow.
And yeah, so Mike Zapsik loves guns, so immediately we had to go over there, and he's buying tactical vests and like ammo cases. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you buying all this? Like, he just bought it just because it was there.
I was about to bring that up. I never saw Mike as a gun person.
Oh, he's a nut. Yeah, he's a nut. He's a little paranoid, I think. So he loves the Second Amendment. So let's just put it there. But that night, Theo and I and a bunch of other people wind up at this bar called Dickweeds.
Yes.
And it was called
Dickweeds.
Do they only sell two things?
So it was called Dickweeds, Scott, and everybody else, because the guy who owned it, his name was Richard Weed. Richard Weed.
Wow. You can't get named better than that.
Yeah.
Your memory is incredible right now.
I have a memory for fun. All the bad stuff, I don't remember that unless there was fun involved. But
fair.
But we ended up there, and there was it had to be karaoke night, and Theo kicked it off with that song from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He killed it. He nailed it. And after that, it was all bets were off. But it was a fun drunken night for sure. So
that was a good time.
Well, Theo, Kyril's asking. He's got two quick questions for you. How did Theo be directed by Fisher Stevens? And two, Elephant Man of War?
All right. So number one, Fisher is actually really dope. From audition to actually working for him. He of course was an actor first. He was in a lot of movies. So the movie that I remember him from was the Short Circuit series. But he's been in a bunch of other movies. Because he was an actor, he's a good actor. He knows how to talk to actors. He knows how to like relate and how to get the best out of you. So I really appreciate that. I didn't have a huge role, so I got a little bit of time with him, but it was definitely value time. And Elephant Man of War hasn't happened yet. It was something that my friend Brian Stewart and I kicked around for a while. But thanks for bringing it up. And now I have all this time, maybe that needs to get revisited.
So is it about like some soldiers with the big heads and I am not a soldier? I mean,
so I don't want to give too much of it away, but essentially, it's the story. It's what happens after World War II when Hitler wasn't actually assassinated. He's got a new body. He's got to figure it out, and the Allied powers have been tracking this, and they've got a hero they've sent with his circus freak friends to defeat the new Axis powers. It's a mess.
So it's one of those serious alt history pieces.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That sounds awesome. That sounds amazing.
I'm actually glad we didn't do anything with it. And yes, I do remember him from Mario Brothers 2. I don't remember him from Hackers. I have to go back and watch that again. I quote that movie more than I should. But
Fisher Stevens is he's the bad guy. He plays crap. I can't remember his name in the movie. Someone will be able to throw it up in the count.
Yeah, rides around on a skateboard.
Plague. The Plague.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I forgot what else I was talking about, but yes, God, I gotta watch that game. Hackers has come up a number of times this week for me. So
yeah, me too. Oddly enough, I rewatched it a couple weeks ago, and as inaccurate as it is, strangely, like it's a great movie in its own kind of world, I guess.
Yeah.
And, all of us, streamers and just kind of I still love it. It has its place in history for sure.
Exactly.
All right, well, Tommy's got a question there. I can answer it, or you can, Ming. Where can you get one of these shared universe podcasting shirts?
I have a whole stock of it. ashareduniverse.com. There's an online store right there. You can order one up. I'll pack it myself. I'll throw in some extras for you, Tommy. And yeah, Scott's is it comes weathered, but it's well loved over there. It looks like he's weathered it.
Yeah.
It looks great on you, man.
Thank you. And the material is fantastic. Matter of fact, because of that, we've been getting all our shirts we get printed here out of the same material because I love it so much. My buddy Jason London has been buddy Jeremy, who's one of the VSQ guys. He's been doing a lot of videos and stuff online where he's just playing music, and he's always wearing a 3 Alarm Comics shirt. He could care less about the shirt, what's printed on it. He just loves the way it feels and the material it's made out of. So if you want some shared universe promotion, send some to Jason. He will wear them everywhere. I can promise.
All right, it's a man that loves comfort and he loves what he puts on his body, but the message you could care less about.
Better get one of those. Yeah. Also, guys, I'll be right back.
By the way, Tommy is one of the co-owners of Kablam Digital Printing down in Florida. So we love Kablam. Actually, I might have to talk to him. I have an idea for. I don't know if I have it in me to write a full comic, but I might have an 8-pager in me that I've been thinking about. Well, we might have some artists for you that can help you out. We did one with we did like a little 16-page story with James Leary from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And we printed it here, or we had Tommy and him printed over there.
I remember.
Here. Yeah. So if you're ready, if you want to do one, we can help you out with the artistry and the lettering and everything else. Yeah,
Scott, I think I have all the pieces to create a comic book except for the actual content. Like you actually have to write it. So but I think I may be using this time to
actually, believe it or not, it was kind of not bad. Like when James did it, he came up with a plot first. It was this went on over a period of about a year. He had a plot first, and then we kind of worked together with him. I think Barry, actually, who is the other co-owner of Kablam, and Tommy says he'll help you out too.
I appreciate that.
And Tommy's also apparently an inker supreme,
nice.
Which actually Tommy is. He's actually one of the better inkers in the industry.
Did we meet Tommy at the Po' Boy place? Or
we did.
Okay, we did. So we've met. Yes.
Oh, look, we have a penciler here too.
That's awesome, Dave Bain. That's awesome. Holy crap! Okay, we got a lot of all the cavalry is arriving.
Yes, you got all you got to do is come up with. You have to write what you want, and I can letter it. I did the one we did last time, so we can make it happen.
All right, all I got to do is actually get off my butt and find time to write it. Which I can't. You can't really make the excuse that you don't have time for anything right now.
Well, actually, you can because like I said, every time I go on the Shared Universe podcast site, so anybody's like to do something like this, you could have Ming or Mike or Ming and Mike on anytime you want. You just go on their site and you can schedule the stuff and book it. But every time I go on there, you better book it a couple days ahead of time. Y'all are sold out quick.
Yeah, we're filling up those time slots, which is good. It's a great thing. So
pays the bills
for sure. Yeah, thanks, Tommy. Po' Boy power.
So Tommy is the printer. So
I appreciate that.
So you got it all set to go. You can bring Theo in. Y'all could co-write. Y'all could be come up with the stuff and write your own. Or they said if you come up with 8 pages, let Theo come up with 8 pages. Now you got a 16-page book.
I know, right? Yeah. Then start the anthologies. Everyone puts in their own story.
Yeah.
This could get crazy.
So we can write anything.
We can bring Mike in. I'm sure Mike's got to have something bouncing around his head that he could do in it, like an 8-page report.
I'm sure he does that. He's got to get out for sure.
Then right there, we got a 24-page comic book. You've got something you can sell on the website, signed by you, Theo, and Mike, and we can get Tommy to sign it and Dave to sign it and whoever else, and you could have the whole gambit. You could sell CGC. I could get them. Well, y'all could get them CGC graded too, but we get them graded, and you'd have the whole gambit ready to go.
Yeah, we've got we got everything planned out except for the inside. We've already CGC this comic that doesn't exist yet. It's awesome.
You guys started a comic book company and Tommy took me to pee. What is going on?
Actually, believe it or not, me and Steve Scott kind of established a comic book company a while back called it Backward Bulb because we wanted to think outside the box. So we've already printed stuff like the one we did through with James Leary. So. We can keep on going.
Oh, dude.
Amazing. All right. Well, let me start putting pen to paper, and we'll see what happens.
We just call the comic ASU Presents.
Yes. Yeah. Shared Universe Comic Group, or approved by the Shared Universe Comic Code.
Or we can combine it and put 3 ASU.
Right.
So I got a quick question for you. How similar is writing a comic book to writing an episode of a TV show? Hold on.
Honestly, I wish Victor was still around. Tommy might be able to help answer that. Actually, Tommy, I'm going to send you the link right quick. If you want to join in, you would probably be somebody to better answer that question.
Yeah, I've read some of Kevin's scripts. I mean, I would say I've written his film scripts. I've read his film scripts. And I've read his comic scripts. For him, I don't think it's that much different because he's very descriptive about, what's in the background, what the people are wearing, like stuff like that, which you do in the comic book script. So you know what the artist is supposed to draw. I think for him, he had to cut down on the dialogue quite a bit from what he does in the movies, so it can fit in the bubble. Like, you can't fit like a 14-page monologue into one word bubble.
Yeah, it's true. All right.
Well, I've had the benefit of seeing a lot of different styles, and that's the thing. A lot of writers are very tight and very wordy as far as what they're wanting. Then you have other ones who are very, very loose and lets the artist pretty much tell the story. And it's really going to depend on the creative team you have involved. If you do have somebody as a good penciler and a good inker, they can take a one-sentence description of an entire page and make it work. You just have to be able to trust the person you're working with to be able to do these things. Then on the Rob Ray's Burst, like I said, he's talking about Kevin, but if you go back and you look like a lot of scripts from Alan Moore, Alan Moore will write the scripts, but then he will actually go through and, like, on typing paper, draw breakdowns, like little stick figure breakdowns of how he has envisioned it in his head.
So storyboard.
You have people who are very controlling. You have people who are very loose with it. In the future, we'll have to bring on a buddy of mine, Ming. We had him on with me and Ming, not Mike, not long ago. A guy named Jeff Johnson. He started off doing comic books, but left comics. He's still doing it for fun, going into animation. Like, he's working on the Harley Quinn cartoon, the Teen Titans cartoon, Young Justice, all this stuff. And he'd be able to tell you probably a lot more about it as far as what would be expected out of you as a writer and everything else.
All right. Well, that is a thing to consider. Because that's something I've been getting into more the last few years. Partner and I have written a pilot. Got a movie in my back pocket somewhere. Well, they're already remaking Twins. And they're adding Eddie Murphy, I heard.
Yeah, as the third. So it's actually a triplet movie, but yes, it's called Twins or whatever you're calling it.
That's. I think you could get crazier, but why would you?
You could do your own version of that one thing, something in Kate. You could have Ming and Theo does Octo,
But Twins came out in 1988, so this is a movie 32 years in the making, which is.
But I mean, they did it already with Coming to America.
They did.
See, I'm dreading it because that movie was so great. I'm kind of worried about a remake on that one.
Once I looked at who was involved, so they got all the original cast involved is still alive. That's a very good sign, and I think, was it Ryan Coogler who wrote it? Let me check that out.
I think you might be right, and as you know, he's pretty talented. So
yeah.
I think it can be done. I think instead of these reboots, if they just continue it with like you said, if it's with the original cast, and and they fast forwarded 32 years and we see what they're up to now, that can definitely work. They try to reboot it and bring it back to whenever it came out, and try to change some of the cast members around. That does not work, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you right now. There's one movie they should never, ever, ever, ever remake.
Okay.
I don't care who does. if they ever decide to remake Harlem Nights, I'm done. I'm out. I'm never watching another movie again.
Yeah.
I will never see another. I will stay away from theaters. I will ban everything because you don't get much better than that.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Seeing Arsenio Hall, one of my favorite scenes, seeing them all when they're shooting up everything, everybody's outside. You got Arsenio Hall. It doesn't get better.
Stop shooting that little ass gun. You shoot that little ass gun again, I can't. Oh my God, that was classic. Quit!
Yes, I'm telling you. That and Blazing Saddles are probably two of my favorite movies of all times.
Yeah, man. Something in Gene Wilder for sure, but like also the era with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
Yes,
all those movies they made together. Yeah, I hope they don't touch any of that stuff.
No, there's no need.
Well, it's like if you have a chance, Ming and Mike introduced me to something that they do. It's called the Jack Acid Flashback. I'll tell you right now, those things have kept me just entertained while I work at the power station for countless hours at end.
What is it?
We do a thing over at the studio where we let people come down. We have a whole setup and we let them record their own movie commentary. So,
okay.
Yeah, like the director commentary on a DVD, but we just let fans do it because who better to do it than someone who's watched a movie like 100 times? I remember listening to them back in the day on like laser discs, and then when DVDs came out, you would hear the director commentary. Sometimes they would have a cast member, and I remember how entertained I was by these commentaries because they lived it. They were able to tell inside stories while the movie was playing. And for a while, I was like, well, I guess only people who made the movie can do these commentaries, right? And I was like, wait a minute. That's not true. I've seen The Lost Boys a million times.
There you go.
I definitely do, talk about my own experiences about why I love a certain scene. And how fun would that be to do it with other fans of a particular movie? So, I think once a month we would get together. And so the first movie we did was Karate Kid. Then we did Roadhouse. And then we just did Cocktail. But then, the list is like 80 pages long of all the other movies we want to just sit around and commentate on.
That's a real good idea, man.
And Mike coined it the Jack Acid Flashback. It's like an acid flashback, but by jackasses. So we're thinking. I mean, it's actually you can do screen sharing, so it's actually possible to do it remotely as well.
Yeah.
We did one. We did Labyrinth with a bunch of guys.
Wait, you did Labyrinth already?
Yeah. One of our podcasts. They're called Comics on Cannabis. So they were a bunch of comedians. They were high, and they did a commentary on Labyrinth, and it went pretty well. So
God, of course it did. It's Labyrinth. Because that's the one I was actually just about to say it. That if I had to pick one, that would be the one I'd do.
Well, see, you could do Dark Crystal still.
Never seen it.
Wait, what? Oh.
I have the movie. Never seen it. Don't know why. It's some kind of block, man. I just never watched it.
Yeah.
I watched Labyrinth every day for like a year or two growing up.
It's a great movie. If you love weed, it's a great movie to watch while high too. And
I've also never seen it high.
That might be the thing to do while you're trapped at home.
I think you're right. Also, Kirill, he's right. Highlander would be amazing.
Oh, there you go. There's your another one. Dark Crystal or Never Ending Story.
Yes. Never Ending Story for sure.
And you know what would be fun? I could probably bring Deep in on that one too.
I forgot. Yeah, he was in it, so I'm sure he's got some stories.
Wait, Never Ending Story?
Yeah, he was the sail rider.
That's right.
That dude scares the shit out of me.
Really? Oh, dude, he's so sweet and so nice.
I know. I met him. But like, I got that episode of X-Files he was in stuck in my head when he was like crawling into people's bodies and wearing them and walking around. That just fucked me up because he could fit. He could fit without moving much around. I'm screwed.
What a lot of the people don't realize, we had him on for Star Wars Day, but he was Yoda.
Yeah.
But basically, whenever normally it was the puppet, and he wasn't a voice actor, but anytime you saw Yoda walking and things like that, that was deep in the costume.
Yeah.
Wait, in the old ones or the new?
The old
ones, the original. Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
He was Mr. Sin on Doctor Who. I mean, he's got as far as sci-fi fantasy stuff goes, he's got a resume that is very hard to be matched.
Yeah, he's in Flash Gordon. He was in Star Trek movies. He's it's insane the stuff that he's done.
All right, we have a comic book question. Joe's asking he wants a Harley Quinn issue number 1. Or her first appearance. Which one is best?
Batman Adventures number 12, I believe. That's what you want. And good luck finding that at a reasonable price. So
I think the last one we had, I think we sold for right around 800.
8. Okay, yeah, even higher. Yeah.
So yeah. Of course, we did find out that, like I said, one of the previous podcasts, that technically that is not Harley's first appearance.
No, her first comic book appearance, like printed appearance, in like a tape and
yeah, like an audiobook type thing.
There was an audiobook for children called, what is it, Got 'em or Get 'em or
I can't remember. I have to look it up again. I have one somewhere around here. I just have to find it, like everything else.
Yeah, that thing's going for $400 or $500 now if it's sealed. And that's her first true printed appearance.
Oh, here you go. Daryl's asking.
Black Hole.
Black Hole. That'd be a great one.
That's a great
I'm looking it up now. I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Black Hole?
I've never heard of this movie.
It's a Disney movie.
Yeah, Disney sci-fi movie.
It's a space opera.
Dude, if you have Disney Plus, give it a shot. It's honestly, as far as special effects go, for the time, actually, it was top of the line. It was phenomenal.
All right, yeah, I have to check that out.
And it's very dark.
I love 80s space movies. Like my favorite is Ice Pirates.
Oh God,
good pick.
Yeah, my favorite.
I would have to say mine would be like Time Bandits.
That's a great pick too. Yeah, you're gonna love the Black Hole then for sure.
Have either of you seen The Explorers?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Yes,
River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, man, they're fucking not the best, but they're really good movie.
I saw that right at that age where I just want to get in my friends and build a spaceship and
exactly.
Yeah, and I wanted a friend named Wolfgang. I mean that's all I wanted, and it hasn't happened yet.
I want a hamster that can articulate with buttons.
That's right.
I want more cheese.
Oh yeah, see, you're definitely have to get Theo on for a Jack Acid flashback.
Yeah, for sure. Explorers would be a great one. Oh my God, that one.
Space herpes. I'm gonna quit yelling, man, but yes, Dave, space herpes.
Great job.
And Beastmaster, yes, I think I've seen Crow too, but Beastmaster is also one of my favorites.
Oh, Crow! Which Beastmaster? There's like 8 of them.
Wait, I've only seen the one. I only seen the first one.
No, they did all these at the time the direct to VHS releases. There's like 7 or 8 of them, and they are just as cheesy as the first one.
But I thought the first one was great.
Well, it's very tongue in cheek and it's very campy.
Okay.
So it's very cheesy, but like say Beastmaster 1 is like a good aged cheddar. Mm-hmm. Two is more like cheddar jack, and then by the time you get to 7, it's like Velveeta, the imitation cheese.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't there a show? There was a show. The Beastmaster.
I don't know if I remember a show.
I'm very certain. I'm looking it up now.
There probably was, but the first one you're talking about, the Mark Singer one.
Yes. Now, we'll say there's one TV show that came out. I remembered it as a kid like crazy. And for the longest time, I thought I was crazy, that I dreamed or whatever. Being a comic book fan, especially a DC comic book fan, I remember years ago, like back in the 70s, there was a live action DC comic book show. Mm-hmm. And I remembered it. I remember watching it and just completely enthralled. Now, 20 years later, I ended up finding copies of it, and then now it's on the Disney Plus stuff. If you have a chance to see them yet, they're incredible. but one of them is the roast, the DC Comics roast. It's called Legends of the Superheroes.
Yeah, there's a superhero roast.
Whoa!
It is the most cheesy, off the wall. So like they didn't have the rights at the time because they had auctioned them off or bought them off to do Superman. So instead they brought Shazam in. But it had Adam Ward and Adam West,
Burt Ward was
Burt
on.
Ward were Batman and Robin. They had this bodybuilder guy to play Hawkman. He never talked. He just went ah. It was. I'll tell you what. If you have Disney Plus, look up Legends of the Superheroes.
Yeah,
there are 2 episodes and they are phenomenal because like their version of special effects was like the Flash is on there. So what he would do is like, all right, I'm going to run over here, and you go. And they disappear, and then they show them somewhere else.
Yeah, they would just cut it.
Yeah.
yes.
It's so bad that it is phenomenal.
Yeah, for a while, the only place you could get a copy of that was at Comic-Cons, who had bootleg DVDs and VHS.
Yep, it was a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy from 1970 that somebody basically was on NBC. So the advertisement going up saw that the peacock NBC symbol where it spread out. Yeah.
But as comic book fans and collectors, we would watch anything, and we had to, you had as completists, you had to add that to your collection. As Batman was.
For sure.
But I think they're actually remastered and maybe even high def now on the Disney thing. I don't know how they're gonna go from 12 frames per second to high def, but I think they did it.
That's like remastering the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it, but you might as well do it.
The best thing in Star Wars canon.
Right. A lot of drugs involved in the making of that one. Wow.
Oh, God.
Oh man. Well, Ming, I know you got to go. You probably have something coming up. I mean, unless you want to hang around for a little bit.
Take another 5 minutes. I just
right,
go to the store and sign stuff, but so I'm in no hurry.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if anybody knows, if y'all want to make Mike Zapsik work a lot more, if you want to go, what is the email address? If you want to
actually, he would prefer you call him at the store at 732-758-0508. I will repeat that. 732 758 0508.
All right.
And I'll see if I can throw it up on the comments, but there is a online ordering link now as well. It took them long enough, but
so if y'all want to call the store, there's the phone number there on the banners.
Yeah, or if you want to go to janesilentbob.com, there is an online order link finally right now.
They're actually curating comic book men curated boxes that they're sending out, and I think it's $25. You get like $30 worth or $40 worth.
40. Yep.
$50 or $40. You break it down. I can't remember anymore.
It's for $25 you'll get $40 worth of stuff. For $50 you'll get $80 worth of stuff, and for $100 you get $150 worth of stuff. And it's all kind of curated and chosen by one of the comic book men. And each box has an autograph 8x10, and you get one item signed by Kevin. So it's a pretty great deal. I was like, Mike, is the store making any money off of these? Because it sounds like too good to be true. But he assures me that they are. So I just put the web link in there too if you want to order online.
Cool. All right, let me pull that up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
There you go. So the web link.
/curated. So yeah, pretty good deal. And since the store's not physically opened, keeping the lights on in there. So
yeah, Carol saying Theo says you're playing Xbox in the background.
I wish. I actually got rid of my Xbox so I could be more productive.
Well, and Ming, like I said, this is something Theo and I are planning on doing. I know you're busy, but I'll make sure that every time we do this, I'll send you a link if you're
I appreciate
free.
that. Yeah,
you want to swing by? Theo plans on bringing a lot of friendinos from the acting world and convention scene, and I'm going to bring in the same thing and some comic book people. So feel free to stop in anytime. We'd love to have you anytime.
I appreciate it. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I saw Theo briefly at another ill-fated con in Atlanta.
Yeah,
it's most of they're not all ill-fated, but some of them are. So
yeah,
I think that brings people closer together. So
that's why I've been writing so much, so I can get build a better cons.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I would like to do a live stream about the reality of cons. Like I said, from getting to know people, throughout all the years and everything else, between the comic people I know and then the media guests I know, I've always wanted to do some type of reality type thing, but actually a real reality, like a documentary, I guess. More along the lines of, I actually plan on calling it, which I'm probably going to ruin it now. Somebody's going to take it and run. But I plan on calling it something like Gods Among Men, where, you show up at a show. I kind of wanted to start the whole thing out where you showed up at a show and like the guest entertainment, they're treated like royalty. They've got their green room. The fans come in, everything else. Everything is just hunky-dory. Life is gravy. And then follow it up, the majority of it being that, then follow it up with the car or plane ride home where you're trying to figure out if you actually broke even that weekend or if you lost money or actually made money, and then getting home, trying to make sure that you made enough money to pay the bills that you need to be paid because of the time you took off to go to this thing. I kind of want to give a little reality so the fans could see, other than, when they show up like, oh, well, I watch Comic Book Men, so, why is he charging $20 for an autograph? Or I watch Walking Dead. I paid his salary while he was on Walking Dead. No, it doesn't necessarily work like that.
Right. That would be eye-opening for sure to a lot of people, I think. Yeah.
But that's one of the things I want to do is show a reality. And I wish we could turn it, well, maybe with the live streaming now, if we could bring some of the guests who would not mind being honest and kind of, not at the risk of pissing off fans. I know nobody wants to do that, but, just to open their eyes and see a little bit of reality behind it.
And because it's not all bad. It's like some of it's a lot of fun. Some of it, but it's like not what you would expect. Yeah,
you could show the fun, you could show everything else, but like I said, the reality is let's be honest. You have to, if you're going to do a weekend show, quite honestly, that's 5 days out of your normal work week, because you have to take a day to fly, then you do the show for the 3-day show, then you get back, you have to take a day to fly back, then you got to have a little bit of recovery time from doing all this stuff that weekend. So doing a weekend show is 6-7 days out of your normal schedule.
Yeah, and don't let them fly you out in the kind of the same day that you get there.
Yeah, no.
You're like gas by the time you get home.
It's happened.
Yeah, man.
It's not preferable, but it's happened for sure. So
yeah. But I would just love to show the fans the reality for some of it that they don't normally get a chance to see.
Yeah. That, you know what? I bet that would be the easiest put together ever.
Well, to me, the only hard part is going to be able to get like the guests that come on to actually. I mean, they don't want their fans to see that side of them. But quite honestly, I think the fans would appreciate them more if they did see that side.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with show like who you are and what you go through and what you enjoy. Like the better experience the guest has, the better experience the fan has.
Yep.
Right.
So if you get a chance to say, this is what I enjoy, this is what I don't enjoy, this is how I like to be approached, the fan then learns, what people. First off, that these are people, and hey, we're gonna have a good time because I've listened to you, and now we can interact.
Right. Well, it's like, I mean, be honest with you, like the first time Ming and Mike came to Pensacon, I'd actually messaged Ming a few times, like, dude, I want to sit around and talk to you, everything else. But then, I see Ming in like the lobby of the hotel or in the little bar area down there. The first year, I never approached him. I never talked to him. I'd walk right by. I think I maybe even bought him a drink for him just anonymously, because, like I said, well, the reason why was he was always talking to somebody else, because Ming is a social butterfly, and I didn't want to interfere, and I didn't want to be in the middle of something that was already going on.
Nonsense.
Now, then once I got to know Ming, I regret not going up there and saying, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And that's the type of thing that, like that one year, I said I wanted to meet Ming and Mike more than anything, which I still have never met Mike face to face. I've talked to him numerous times, but I had the perfect opportunity to do so, but I didn't take advantage of it because I was trying to be respectful to the point where I was being overly respectful.
Yep, we're all family. Come up and say hi. Always.
Also, Ming, I just remembered something. I have a deep regret. Last October in Atlanta, I did not make it to the Claremont.
Yeah, I was there, I think, every night, so you would have caught me over there. I kept taking groups of friends over there, and I want to take Scott over there for sure.
Yeah. The Claremont is It was just such a mess that weekend, but like I should have just rallied and went, man.
All right, we'll have another shot.
Man.
I have no
I'll
doubt.
tell you, I don't know if I can keep up because I got other friends. I thought Ming was like a something like away from everybody else, but apparently it's an Asian thing going on. So like a lot of my Asian friends, like I said, Paul that owns the liquor store and everything else next door. These guys can be out partying all night till 4:00 in the morning and wake up at 4:20, like they've slept 8 hours the night before and ready to go in the next day. So I don't know what it is, but apparently I need some Asian in me. Wait, no, I said that wrong. There's something going on with it.
Yeah. I don't know. We just love to live, my friend. And we love to hang out with our friends. So that's why I love things like this so much. And that's why I love hanging out with you guys.
Oh yeah, there you go. Carol says you're the hardest working man in podcasting, rated G.
Yeah, I don't know about rated G. Let's not go back. I don't know about that, but PG-13.
There you go.
Well, everybody, we've kind of gone a little bit longer than we intended because we were having so much fun. But I know both of you two are busy, so we are going to go ahead and finish up. Want to say thank you to Ming for coming in and helping us out with this, and kind of being the guy who kind of made all of this possible for us anyway. To my
co-host of the live stream.
There you go. to my co-host Theo, this is our first time. We wanted to bring somebody we were both comfortable with, which is Ming, a good friend of ours. To Theo, I just want to turn it over. If you got anything you want to say before we get out of here.
Well, thank you, Scott, for putting this together, and thank you, Ming, for being gentle with us.
Always gentle, always.
And thank you for anybody who's listening or watching, and thanks for all the great questions for sure. And Kirill, if I find myself in Moscow, I might have to hit you up.
And before we go, one last time, we are still trying to think of a thing that's something Theo and I want to do, at least maybe like once a week or so, and bring in different guests to you. So we haven't thought of a name for the show yet. If you got something, put it in the comments. Shoot us an email, shoot us a message on Facebook. We're going to, over the next few weeks, we're going to pick out the one we like the best. And we got some special stuff to send to the winner of it. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Theo. Thank you, Ming. And we will see you next time.